Got these boards or these logs from 2 years ago when I cleared the driveway, and they're just starting to get punky and dry rotted. So instead of using that down log, I think I'm going to try to use whatever I can in here, just knowing that it's probably not going to last a whole lot longer. But the problem is going to be to see if I can get 10 feet of decent wood out of here that's not all punked out and dry rotted. And see, that's pretty junky right there. The other side looked good though. You can hear it when I kick it, that solid wood sound. So let's see where we get 10 feet and make a cut, and if it's junk, well, then I guess it goes to firewood or something else. Shoot, we might not even have 10 feet. Oh, that's almost 10 feet exactly. That's right, I remember I cut these 10 feet. That's too punky, I can't use that. Shoot, 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 shoot. Well, that one right there looks good. And that's over 10, I know that by looking at it. Whole stack will probably fall over on me. Looks a little punky on this end, but the other end sounds pretty solid, so I think I'll just take a little bit off and see where it goes. I know where my 10 mark is. Well, let's see if we can get to something solid here, and then we'll go from there. I think we might. We're getting there. Come in a little bit more, we're going to be all right. This one should be good. The nice thing about it being dry is they're a little lighter too. Yeah, that sounded solid. I like that. Oh, this one looks alright. Might get 2 sections out of this one. Bark's already coming off. I'm a little bit worried it might be punky in the middle, but let's do a 10-foot measurement from the edge and take a look at what we got, eh? I've got 3 of the 10-foot front beams peeled and cut. Those are going to be for the 4 or the 2 front corners and then 2 supporting beams. And then after this one is peeled, I'll only have to cut, I think, 9-footers or 8-footers, because I'm going to bury them 3 feet in the ground, and I think I want them 4 or 5 feet high in the back so that it slopes from front to back. And I'll need 4 of those as well. And I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here, but I think one of them is pretty punky, so I'll probably have to cut another one. So most of these, this here is black spruce. Those are balsam. Yeah, I think those are balsam as well. Maybe one of those was a red pine. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I've got my corners marked. I've got 1 hole dug so far. The thing I did not take into account was the ground is not level. It's higher on that end than it is on that end. So that ultimately is going to make my height different on my poles. So I'm going to have to change, either strip some dirt out of here, but my hole is already dug, so I might have to go deeper over here. Oh, my back is still sore. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take a fair amount off. Tighten up the string. How are we looking? Still pretty good. Okay, so so I have my level. I just need to grab a marker. I don't know if I talked about the reason why I burnt the bottom of those posts. It's a Japanese technique of preserving wood, and it's called something like shushiban. I know I butchered that. But essentially, you char the outside of the wood, and it resists bacteria and decay and rot. So we'll see how long that lasts. I'm just using the level as a spacer in between these boards. I got these boards from my buddy who was putting in a new deck at his house, and so it's all reclaimed lumber. Other than the screws, I got $0 into this, which is kind of nice. The spacing is just for air movement, so that when I have the wood stacked in here, it can dry if it's not already dry. It's gonna be a mouse haven though, and squirrel, I'm sure. The ground is kind of sloped, so I'm gonna have to put some fill in on the inside of that. And I'm just gonna put pallets down and then stack the wood on there. I gotta trim off the posts to make them level. And I'm probably gonna come about this high with the boards and then have an open space and then run the ceiling posts up. So that's where we're at. Where'd you guys put the screwdriver? Oh. I got the last course of boards on, and I got the posts cut to even length. I've been working on peeling another pole. One will go on the back and one will go on the front, and then boards will go front to back for weatherproofing. But I'm hungry. It's time to take a break and make some supper. I got a steak that thawed out. I'm gonna throw that on the grill, and I'm gonna try something different. I have canned potatoes in the past, and a lot of times I'll use them in kind of meals so they're ready to go. Or like if I have a can of venison, I'll mix that with the potatoes and put some gravy on it. But I'm going to try to fry them. I hope that they will hold together enough, but I'm not sure really what to expect. Gonna get some oil heated up here. I have no idea if this is gonna work. It should, in theory. Those potatoes are delicious. They actually got nice and crispy. The key was once the oil kind of evaporated out, then they kind of fried. Otherwise they were just kind of sitting there in the oil. I would can potatoes just to make these. They're really good. Really good. Shall we sit by the fire and eat our dinner? It's a beautiful night out. Blue sky. Birds singing. I am so filthy right now. After supper, I'm gonna hit the shower. I haven't talked to you guys about that. A couple of the ways that I keep clean when I'm camping in the van. One of the ways is that I have this little shower apparatus. I'll show it to you later. Works pretty well. A lot of times I'll just hop in the lake, but the water's pretty cold right now. And I don't really want to leave here. I got too much stuff to do. I didn't have enough boards for the roof. They're not nailed down. I just set them up there so I could get an idea of how far I'd be short. And of course, I'm short. So plan B was I'd go to the store and get some from Home Depot. Well, it's about 75 bucks, and that kind of defeats the purpose of doing this with reclaimed materials. So then I thought, well, that's okay. I'll just slab some out with the chainsaw. Well, I sharpened the chain, and it was so dull by the time I was done sharpening it, it wouldn't cut anything. So back to my second trip into town, and I asked for a ripping chain. And after talking to the guy, he basically said my saw wasn't big enough to be slabbing wood. Well, we're going to find out. I'm just using pole barn spikes to nail the logs together. I think these were 60D size maybe. That's not going anywhere. That's solid. So I have to add a little more dirt into this low spot, and then I'll put pallets down, and then I'll start stacking the wood pile. But I still have to figure out what to do with the roof. Either I'm going to cut slabs, or I'm going to I have to measure, because I think I might have a couple more boards at home, which I really wanted to go out to the overhangs, but I don't think I have that many. Which means if I had to buy boards, I priced them today, it's going to be about $75 to buy boards. And I don't really want to do that. It's just a woodshed. I kind of wanted to make it from free materials. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. The other thing I can do is run more logs down the long way, and then just put sheathing across, which I'd have to buy too, so that's maybe not it. Or one thing I could do is use pallet wood boards and just run them across, but I think that would look kind of junky, so I don't know if I want to do that. But the answer will reveal itself. The problem I have is I suffer from analysis paralysis, but when I figure it out, then I can make a decision pretty easily. And I just have to think about this a little bit more and decide what I want to do. I also have another pole that I built that could go right here. And I have enough, if I use some of these boards, I can go across here too and just have like a doorway. But then you have to come in and get all the way to the back to do the wood. And then it's going to be harder to get the old stuff switched out with the new stuff. So I might just leave it open. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Well, it's almost getting dark. I think it's about time to shower up and get some clean clothes on for the day.